Okay, so I am back. I had to reboot the system, and what I was missing was my MIDI driver. Sometimes that happens when you unplug your USB devices improperly. That could happen. You could lose your drivers. They can fly off your system, and you have to put them in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add them back in there, and we should be cooking with grease in just a second. And we'll get back to our FL Studio production. How's that sound? Is that cool? Alright, it's King David for David and Goliath Music. Fruity Loops University, the only live FL Studio training grounds, and the best, I might add. Alright, so we'll go into this production real quick, and we called it Class on Monday because it's Monday. Got 3 drums. Got my controlling pad now. It's working because every time I hit the keys, you can see that light up. That's beautiful. That's one of the best. Alright, now, in order to make that sound, we need to actually click on the FPC channel to make that happen. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. Alright, 2 things I would like to make sure is check my audio settings. Alright, if I'm working with my keyboard controller, I'm not going to use the ASIO driver. That's going to add some latency, and latency is nothing but computer time, right? And so that means if I press the note on the keys, it will take some time to make a sound. So just using the regular sound card will bring that latency as close to 0 as possible. Right now we're at 23 milliseconds. You can change your buffer length, but I warn you, if you change it too low, you're going to get some serious distortion. And that's been a lot of questions that have been asked me on YouTube is, hey, I'm getting this really clicking, popping sound in my music. What's going on? Well, the answer is to change your buffer. Go to the audio, click on, you have MIDI, then audio, go to buffer length, all right, and change it. Now, the further out to the right that you go, the longer it's going to take for that noise, or for a sound to make a noise when you hit your controller. So you want to get it as close as possible to 0 without going to 0. If you hit it to 0 or 2 milliseconds, look what happens. See how that underrun goes? And that's where you get the clicking and popping. So you want to adjust it to the best or the lowest amount that your computer can process without getting any underruns. Alright? And there we have it. So, I don't know what I want to write today, but I did manage to get a good shot of my Korg Triton. So, I got that. I got to write a song anyhow. How about that? There's somebody I needed to write a song for. It's for my homie Dale. And he got a dance called the Dale, do the Dale dance. Alright? So, it's kind of a crunk joint. You know, I do crunk, but I do all different styles of music. So, let's just. Hey, hey. Alright, so I'm gonna get a tempo. Hey, hey, do the Dale dance, do the Dale dance, do. So I'm gonna go to my tap, which many of you already know about. You can use this a lot when you're sampling to get the right tempo, right? And all you do is just hit any key on your keyboard controller in time with whatever you're humming. Do the Dale dance, do the Dale dance, do the Dale dance, do the Dale. Alright, so when it evens out, that's your tempo. It evened out at 172, that's my tempo. I'm going to do that rhythm. Now, this is unusual for me because, you know, many people that know me, I don't always start with just a drum beat. I start with a melody or whatever else. So, you know, again, this shows that you can do it any way you want to. All right, so we're going to do that rhythm. All right, here we go. And put our metronome on. Just going to do one instrument at a time. Ready? 1, 2, ready, and. Alright, we'll go with that right there. Alright, let's get a snare up that has a little bit more crunk to it, because that's really a little too heavy for crunk music. What do you think? Let's keep it crunk. I like that rim shot. That's kind of cool. take out that old drum. Alright, let's try that. 1, 2, ready, play. Alright, let's listen back. I don't need that extra hit in there. Alright, we want to swing that hi-hat. Now let me tell you the best way, in my opinion, and this is just King David's opinion, to swing something is to go to your snap or your quantization, whatever you want to call it. It's called snap, quantization, or step edit, right? And let's go and change it to none. This way, it will have no control. So whatever I put in is what's going to come back. And see, I trust myself more than I do a machine to give me the feel of the music. So that's why I put it to none, so that I will be the one in control over the swing factor. So it's going to sound like. Alright, it's going to sound like that. Alright, now, since I'm not working with the right instrument, let me get the right instrument. I need a shaker. Perfect. Take out my hi-hat. We don't need a hi-hat if we got a shaker. Alright, let's play back. Ready? Here we go. Record this baby. Alright, play back. And now you can see at the end how, and I'll show you on the screen, how my notes started coming in too soon. The thing about a swing is it's played off beat, behind the beat. Alright, I used to play in big bands, and we used to play swing music, you know. Glenn Miller, all the greats. I played all of that. And one thing we learned about swing music is you have to be right behind the beat. It's like so close that you can feel it, and that's what makes that swing energy. And swing is still used a lot in hip-hop music today. So what we want to do is behind the beat. So if you can see where that line is, you want to be behind that line, not in front of it, if you want it to swing. Now, if you want it straight ahead, which is called like straight ahead jazz, it's a term that's used in jazz, that means right on the beat, straight ahead. And swing is straight ahead is and it's the difference between a guy, with a shirt and tie on, and a guy with some jeans and some t-shirts on. The guy who's swinging is wearing jeans and t-shirt. The guy who's straight ahead is going to have on a suit and tie. So today we're doing jeans and t-shirt. All right, here we go. And you can hear the swing. Alright, good. So we got a basic beat. It's not bad. It's good enough for me to get at my keyboard and start coming up with some really hot music now behind that. And so that's the benefit of writing. I'm gonna raise up this keyboard. You can watch me on the screen as I do it. That's the benefit of writing a drum track prior to writing your music, is that you can really get a good feel for the music, right? You can get a nice vibe going so that your music comes out even hotter. So that's one way to do it. And I don't like how unstable that is. Okay, so how about let's do this. Let's call this part number 3. And we'll come back with part number 4. All right. King David, Fruit Loops University gets no better.